What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. We are here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. My name is Chris Drummond. I am a freelance sports reporter based out of upstate New York here near Rochester. And I am a proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on and talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a special guest that's going to be coming on with me today. She has been a multimedia journalist ever since the early 2010s. She's a graduate of University of Missouri. She first did her thing in Missouri and then transitioned to Arkansas, both cities of Jonesboro and Little Rock. She's also been to the Washington, D.C. area, and now she's Rochester's first Washington's correspondent. Her name is Jessi Turnure, and we are going to talk to her about her why and getting to know her outside of her occupation as well. So, without any further ado, let me go ahead and invite the wonderful, the talented Jessi Turnure. All right, she should be joining very shortly. Hello there.
Hello.
What's going on?
What's up? Good
I'm
intro.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Listen, I want to say thank you for allocating your time to me being on my podcast. I really do appreciate that. And I
Sure.
want to ask you, how is your week starting off so far?
It's good, you know. Sneaky enough, I am now living in Columbus, Ohio, so I'm still trying to get everything figured out with a new job, new city, all of this kind of stuff. So,
Wow. Okay.
yeah,
Well,
some
I
life
appreciate that.
changes.
Yeah. Now, hold on. Are you not affiliated with Rochester First anymore?
No, so that is one of the next star stations, I believe, that my bureau covered. But now I have just transitioned to a different role, doing kind of a hybrid journalist role, you could say, for a PR agency here. So we can get into more of that too.
Absolutely. We definitely will. I
Full
mean, you
surprises.
got. Well, yeah, right. But I love it. I love the fact that we're talking about that, and obviously, me being a journalist, you being a journalist, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
We got to talk about that. One of the
Mhm.
main reasons why I wanted to talk to you is because I did my background research. I know you're a native of St. Louis, and you
Yeah.
went, yeah, no doubt, and you did go to the University of Missouri, which is one of the schools I was considering. They're an NBC affiliate,
Hmm.
great journalism school down there in Missouri. I ended up going to Kennesaw State in Georgia, which state schools is just cheaper. It's just cheaper to go there.
See,
I was
that's why I
Missouri,
went there too. I mean,
right.
amazing school, but I mean, it was 45 minutes away, and I was telling my parents, like, I want to go to California. I want to, just get away
Mhm.
from here. And then here I go 45 minutes up the road. So,
I totally understand that. I really do, Jesse. Now, hold on. I don't want to butcher your last name. Is it Tur or how do you say that?
So it looks like Turner, but it's Tenor.
Tenor. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
we just
fancy.
we get fancy. Yeah. And if we really wanted to get fancy, we'd do the French pronunciation, and I'm not doing that.
Okay, yeah. Don't embarrass me on here. I
Yeah,
don't even want to put you in
could you
that like
imagine
that.
doing that as like an out cue in like a local TV station? I was like, I'm not doing that.
I feel you on that. I would have asked you like 15 times, Joe, how to say your name before we went
Same,
live to make sure I got that thing right. Okay, I'm
same.
with you. Well, listen, my first question to you is the same as it always is, Jesse, with everybody that comes on to the podcast, and that is, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models or any inspirations growing up in St. Louis? But ultimately, what is your why for getting into journalism and media?
I think it really started as a kid, just always wanted to tell stories, no matter what that looked like. I was always trying to tell some crazy story about my day or write a crazy story. I found recently when I was going through stuff in my parents' house, this like little picture book that I drew, not very well, so I'm glad I didn't go into art or anything, but it was called like The Crazy Sister, and it was like all about my sister and, all of these little antics she would get into. And so it's like even then, like when I could barely write, I was already wanting to write and tell stories. And then just growing up, just every chance that I could get in St. Louis, shout out St. Louis, we have the great thing there called the Magic House. And one of
Hmm.
the things that they had there was a television studio. So you could go there as like a kid and just like mess around in a television studio on like a green screen and like act like you're doing the weather. And you could sit at an anchor desk, like all of this stuff. It was so cool. So I was just like, oh my gosh, you can tell stories with video and with music and with audio, like all of this fun stuff. And so then when I was able to like visit TV stations there and figure out that you could do this as a career, I really started kind of getting into motion in high school to see, how can I do this as something that you could do every day as a job? And then eventually, yeah, landed at Mizzou.
I love that. I love that. Now I gotta ask this bonus question since you are from the Lou. That's what we call it, the Lou. Uh, do you remember when the St. Louis Rams won the Super Bowl in 1999? I know you were fairly young. I was too, because
Yeah.
I'm in my 30s as well.
Yeah, I do remember. That's why it
Okay,
stung so
okay.
bad, It's like you have that pride and then they leave and go to LA.
I know, I know. Tell me about it. Well, listen, I remember that because I'm also a Chargers fan, and I grew up in San Diego,
Okay, you get
California.
it. Yeah.
So I do get it, unfortunately. So yes, absolutely. Now, are you a hockey fan? Because later on, the Blues ended up winning the Stanley Cup. Are you a hockey fan too?
In a way, but one of my friends, Emma, would kill me because she's the biggest Blues fan ever. And that is like, I have yet to be to a Blues game. Like, I have not gone. So I don't know if I can really claim to St. Louis
Yes.
even.
Come,
Isn't
come
that
on.
terrible?
Oh,
So I
yeah.
know.
That would be a hell yes. That is very
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, we can say that.
For
Yeah.
sure. For sure. No doubt. Yes, you can. No doubt. But you're in Columbus now, because now the Blue Jackets play out there. You should definitely be able to go to a
Yes.
Blue game and try to represent. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes. Hold me
I love that.
accountable. I will go to a Blue Jackets game
Oh, ain't no
for
doubt.
sure.
But we definitely staying in touch, Jesse. There's no
Yeah.
doubt about that. I'm definitely gonna hold you accountable. Now,
Yeah.
we talked about it a little bit. You went to the University of Missouri, great journalism school. I would love to know, were there any other schools you were considering going to other than the University of Missouri?
At first, I loved Chicago. I always thought that that would be like my forever place, and I wanted to go there so bad after school eventually. And so I was like, Northwestern is where it's at. But honestly, Mizzou was the first school I visited, and just because it was close. And
Mhm.
after I did that, I was like, okay, done. Like my parents were right. I admit it. They were right. So
Right, right.
I just fell in love with it.
I
And
love
having
that.
that real world experience, like you said at the NBC station, where there's actual, like there's a real life news director. It's not a student. There are real life anchors, there are real life producers, things like that. But then you also get to kind of meld into that model as a
Mhm.
student and be held accountable, just like the anchors, just like the reporters, just like the producers. That experience was just unlike any other. I mean, I was going out on my own and covering fires early in the morning. I was doing like an investigation into this like sex trafficking ring. Like we were
Wow.
able to do a lot of different stuff.
Okay, okay. That's
Yeah, they
what's up.
just kind
I
of
love
set
that.
you free.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's amazing. Well, and obviously, I'm a huge sports person, and listen,
Yes.
I would love to be educated on news, which I hope to be educated a little bit by you here. But at that time frame that you were going to Mizzou, I would like to think that the Chiefs were kind of popping out there, Kansas City was kind of popping out there,
Hmm.
and also the Royals, the baseball
Yep.
team. They actually a couple years later actually ended up winning the World Series after you
Hmm.
graduated from Missouri. So.
Yeah.
Um, how often do you get a chance to go back home and visit St. Louis?
Not that often, not as often as I would like. And there's always this weird divide too between like St. Louis and Kansas City, right? So it's like some of my friends that are still there, they're like massive like Royals fans and they're like total Chief fans now that we don't have the Rams. But then it's like other people like me that are just like, no, I gotta like rep the Cards only. And then now I just am like a nomad of a NFL team, It's just I haven't been able to make that transition. So it's like a funky little thing between like St. Louis and Kansas City.
Lord have mercy. See, Jesse, we definitely on opposite ends when it comes to baseball because my
Yeah.
family's from Chicago. So enough
Yeah.
said.
That's
They're
rough.
all Cubs fans. Wow. Okay. They're all Cubs fans. They're all Cubs fans for sure. Now, I'm a Padres fan because I told you I grew up in San Diego, but
Mhm.
I have a lot of family that are Cubs fans, and obviously our number one nemesis would be the Cardinals for sure.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of love, lot of love, a lot of hate, I should say, for the Brewers. We both hate the Brewers, so then there
See,
you go.
that's fine. Yeah, but you can always find common ground.
Right, and that's what we're gonna have to do between you and I.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to find some common ground, and I love
Yeah, we'll
that.
figure it out.
Yes, we will. Now, I want to ask you some favorite questions, okay?
All right.
Just give me the 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions, Jesse. So here we go. Favorite meal you like to cook?
Oh, probably some sort of pasta.
Mm,
But
okay.
yeah. My
Hmm.
husband taught me how to make this Parmesan bowl, where it's like literally just a bowl made out of Parmesan cheese, and you like are able to put like the bowl in the oven and then take it out, and it's just literally a bowl of amazingness, and then fill it with pasta of some sort.
Okay, well,
So yeah,
shout out to the husband. That boy putting it down. I like that. That's what's up. That sounds like a good meal to me. That's what's
yeah.
up. I love that. I'm a huge taco person.
See,
So
yeah.
love tacos. Yes.
Hmm.
Chicken, steak, beef, doesn't matter what it is. I can whip it up pretty good. So yeah,
Hmm.
definitely tacos. Okay.
Yeah.
Jesse, favorite concert you've ever attended?
Uh, Billy Joel with my parents because they got me obsessed with Billy Joel and it's like our thing. And when I lived in Jonesboro, Arkansas, we were like an hour away from Memphis. And so we would do trips there a lot. And when I saw that he was coming to Memphis, I surprised them for Christmas with tickets. And they were like nosebleeds, like last row possible. But it was still just like one of my even like all time favorite memories with them too, just being able to like jam out to him together and be able to like picture them like younger my age like going to his concerts and stuff was
Hmm.
just so cool. And he can still, I mean, he can still play, he can still rock out. So
Yes, he can. The piano man
yeah,
himself, no
he
question
was
about
like,
it.
yeah,
I, I love River of Dreams. That was one of my favorite songs of his.
yeah,
Also
banger.
Baby
Uh-huh.
Grand too, the duet with
Yeah.
Ray Charles. Um, yeah, he was really good. I love me some Billy Joel. That's what's up.
Mm.
I would say The Weeknd is mine.
Oh, mhm.
I'm a huge Weekend person. I love R&B. I love soulful music. So
Mhm.
I love that. That's my kind of vibe. So I love that.
Yeah.
Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Oh man, that's tough. Yeah, it's like, do you go like beachy or like city? I guess recently biased. I was just talking about Italy with a coworker today. I went on my honeymoon in Italy and just like went all around from like Venice down to Rome. And Venice is just such a cool city because it's just like all on the water. And when you're walking around, like we walked the entire city, and you really do have to be careful to like not fall into the canals just when you're walking around because like a street will just end and there'll be like a little rope up. But if you're not paying attention or if you've had too much wine or something, you could potentially fall in. So it
Ooh,
was a city
okay.
unlike anything I've ever been to, and just really cool like history and stuff that we don't have in the U.S.
Absolutely, no doubt. I'm definitely going to hit you up for Rex because I've never been to Italy before. I just got my passport, so I'm definitely going to be flying
Oh
around
yeah.
to different places for sure. Because I'm a huge traveler. I love that.
Hmm.
Jamaica is my favorite. No question
Hmm.
about that. Went to Jamaica, had a great time, great beaches, great food. If you like jerk chicken and rice, that is the place to go get it because it
Yeah,
definitely
bring
is.
it.
No question about that. It's so good. Um,
Hmm.
I'm a sports person, as if you can't tell already by the first 5 minutes of this conversation. So I'm going to ask you a favorite sports question. It's a two-parter. Favorite
Okay.
sport you like to watch on TV, and
Hmm.
then favorite sport you like to attend in person. They could be the same sport.
Oh, okay. Definitely favorite sport I like to watch on TV, basketball. And
Okay.
then it's kind of like a tie between basketball and football to be at in person. So the reason why I'm in Ohio is because of my brother. He went to Ohio State and just stayed after school. So now all of my family has just kind of migrated here over the years, but he played football. And so being able to have that experience to not only like be at the shoe and like be up and close and personal with like some of these family tickets he was able to get us and just like the team he was on and being able to see him like run full speed at these guys. I mean, that experience in and of itself was my in-person one for sure.
Oh, no question.
You
If you
can't
ain't
beat
never
that.
been, you cannot beat that. If you ain't never been to the Horseshoe, y'all got to definitely check it out. I've been there once.
Yes.
It's one of the biggest stadiums in
Oh,
college football. No question about that. So, will you be going to any games this year?
probably. I'm not sure which ones yet. I know not Texas, but we'll see.
Yeah, that one is pretty pricey. That's up there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
up there for sure.
We don't get the free fam tickets anymore.
I know it, right? I was gonna ask you, like, man, like, how much are you willing to drop for a ticket? That's
Right.
one thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I
Not
mean?
that.
Right, right. I love that. I love that. And basketball. So, what's your favorite basketball team?
See, I gotta say, I'm like more college than NBA. So I gotta say, like Mizzou or St. Louis Billikens. Shout out Billies.
Wow. Okay.
Hmm.
You definitely got to shout them out because I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
Wikipedia them. I don't even know who they are. That's for sure. Okay, that's what's
You'll
up.
love their mascot.
Okay, okay, that's what's up. I love that. I love that. Okay. Last one of the favorites. And I've been to Columbus once, but
Okay.
that was a megabus trip. I don't know if you are familiar with megabus, but
I have
yeah.
taken it a time or two.
Oh boy, yeah,
It's an
that's when I.
adventure.
That's when I did not have the wheels, Jesse. That's when I did not have the wheels.
Yeah.
Thank goodness I got some now. That's for sure. I didn't came up from them days, from my college days. Anywho,
Yeah.
um, favorite place you like to eat out at?
Ooh, like a type of food or like restaurant, like just
Oh,
restaurant.
restaurant.
Oh man. There's Columbus is like a sneaky good foodie scene,
Okay.
I will say. But since I just lived in DC, there's like so many great restaurants there too. And I love like let's see. Oh, there's so many good food. There's like Thai, there's one that closed, which I was obsessed with, but it was called Compass Rose. And what was so cool about it, since you like to travel, I'll shout this one out. But
Yeah.
it was like a street food specialty. But like every single dish was from a different country and it like highlighted their street food. And so
Yeah.
you could just like pick based on country or what you wanted to try. Or they had this thing where you could do like eat around the world and they would
Hmm.
just like select things for you. And then they do similar things with drinks as well. So you got to try just like a bunch of different stuff. And this chef was just like amazing. So I tried like khachapuri from like Jordan to they had like really good like spiced meat and stuff from like different like Middle Eastern countries. So it was just like
Okay.
yeah, it was just really cool.
Okay. I'm definitely next time I go out there because I'm very familiar with DC as well. Had the double
Mhm.
decker bus tour when I was out there. Also,
Oh, we got to.
yeah, gotta have
There's one
that.
by my work like every day.
Right, right. And the Shake Shack. Matter of fact, let me tell you a funny story.
Shout out
Funny
Shake Shack.
story. Before I get to this next question. Went out to visit my brother. My little brother was living in Baltimore at the time. We went out for a 4th of July and we went to visit him and we took the double decker tour bus in DC, went to Union Station. As you know,
Hmm.
Union Station has a restaurant, Shake Shack is in there.
Oh yeah.
And at first, people are running around like crazy. So I look out and I'm like, okay, maybe it's just some kids messing around. All of a sudden you heard pop, 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 pop. It sounded like gunshots.
Oh my
The
god.
employees hopped over the Steak Shack, ran out. Everybody started running out our door. And my little brother took off too. My stepmom took off running, but she didn't drop the burger. She didn't drop the burger in her hand. She wouldn't drop that.
Just
And
like
then
wait.
yeah, yeah. She was like this. Had a burger in her hand, just dropped, just run. And I was the third one out the door. My dad was the last one out the door. He was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "I'm not here. I'm not trying to stay to see. I'm trying to see what the hell's going on. I'm trying to get about."
No.
Now, mind you, it was some people doing fireworks inside of Union Station that
Oh
particular
my
year,
god.
but it did sound like gunshots, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Okay, we have to get up out of here." My little brother, ran so fast. It was the fastest I've ever seen him take off. I thought he was Usain Bolt for a minute because he was gone. He was gone with the
Yeah.
wind. Yeah, it was a crazy. That's a crazy DC story, but that was the last time I was in DC. So whenever you say that,
Mhm.
that's the last time I remember I was in DC for
Oh my
sure.
God. Well, good thing it wasn't a shooting. Yeah, it was just
Absolutely.
fireworks.
Absolutely. Next time I'm in Columbus, though, I'll definitely have to say hello to you for
Oh
sure.
my
That's
gosh.
for sure.
Yes, please do. And I'm sure I'll have a million restaurants to throw your way. So,
Please do. Please do.
yeah.
Let's talk about your day to day. Um, Obviously, as you know, as journalists, we no 2 days are ever the same. We're
Hmm.
always covering something different, doing something different, and you know that. I mean, obviously, it's your time with Jonesboro and Little Rock and DC and doing your thing. Talk to me about now your day to day operations and kind of like the PR kind of side of what you're doing. It's a little different than journalism. Tell me how many hours do you normally work? Do you still work the long hours? What are you working for? What type of things do you do?
I will say the hours are better and more consistent. So, yay for that because that's what I wanted in my life. But this role is so cool. And I'm so glad that it just kind of like, in a way, fell into my lap or at least like fell onto my radar the way that it did because my
Mhm.
day to day is still pretty similar to what I was doing in like a traditional newsroom. And so, like
Sure.
today, I actually just finished like putting together the finishing touches on like writing a typical like newsroom minute 30 package, but instead of it being on, you're like going out and like saying like, oh, there's a shooting or, oh, there's like a city council meeting or something that you're going to cover or something like that. The client that you work with, and we work with all healthcare clients, present like you kind of work back and forth on ideas that you kind of
Sure.
massage like throughout like a couple weeks time, and then you still do the interviews with doctors and with patients. And so this one was really cool because it was like a good news cancer story, which you don't usually get. And it was about a 6-year old who was able
Wow.
to overcome her leukemia based on this new form of treatment that's actually in upstate New York in Buffalo. And
Wow.
so we usually travel there to do these stories, but I hadn't started yet. And so they did that, and I was still able to write it and everything. But it's like, I was still able to tell that story the same way that I would for a newsroom. It's just now we're putting it together for a healthcare client, but still sending it to newsrooms to play. And so what's interesting
Sure.
too is that like I'll probably like my voice, tracking a package will still be on like Nexstar stations and a bunch of other ownership groups too, a lot of local TV stations, national outlets, things like that. So it's been a really interesting learning curve. I've only been here about like a month, but everybody's been checking in on me because it's all former news people. And so they're like, all right, how are you doing? You're not in like a noisy newsroom anymore. Like it's not like
Right.
you still have daily deadlines, but you're not turning at least one story every single day. So you get more time.
Right.
But I
Right.
love that because you have more time for creativity too. But I'm like, guys, honestly, like this is kind of where it's at for me right now. I'm liking the change of pace. So, because you get to do the
Yeah.
same thing.
Absolutely. No, it seems like
Yeah.
it seems like even a little bit slower.
Hmm.
I would say a little bit slower. And
Yep.
obviously, anytime that you're this way, girl, now you could definitely holler because Buffalo is definitely like right next door to where I'm at.
See?
That's what,
Exactly. I think I'm
okay.
going back in like the fall. So yeah, I will let you
Okay.
know.
Please do, please do. But let me ask this follow up question. What led to the change? And the reason why I want to ask that is because there's so many different factors that why people kind of pivot and pivot out of just regular news like
Mhm.
broadcasting and stuff like that. Did you just want to do something different, or did you just really kind of like say, you know what, I've had my time here and I just kind of just don't want to no longer do it anymore?
Yeah, there was a lot of different factors, and like at the core of why I loved working in newsrooms and stuff was like the writing and the creativity of the video, and I felt like I was losing that a little bit by being like a national correspondent for a Washington bureau where you're, strictly covering politics. And so, I mean, some of the things I got to see and cover, I will forever cherish. I mean, being at the White House all the time, having a hard pass, being able to run around Congress all the time and talk to the people that are literally making all of the decisions for our country. I mean, those are experiences I'll never, take for granted. I was even at the Supreme Court the day that, they struck down Roe v. Wade, and I was doing live shots for all of our stations then. So it's like,
Oh
I
wow.
mean, you can't take any of that for granted. But for me, at least, after a while, different things that I've seen, something that I have fallen back on a lot is when I was in Little Rock, we were covering like a series of lethal injection executions.
Yep.
And at the time, when I'm put in charge to cover something like that, you're like, okay, this is my job. I'm doing this as a service to the victims' families, to the inmates' families, to the general public to let them know what's going on. I
Sure.
witnessed an execution as a media witness. And at the time, I was just like, this is my job. You put it down, you move on. But it's like after a while, you can't really push down those feelings anymore. And I think it really did start to take a toll on my mental health. And so I was just like, I think I just need to try something new where I tap more into my creativity and more into my writing side instead of kind of just being this, hardline journalist that's always so tough and can just put her feelings aside because I have too much empathy to, I guess, be in some of these positions that I have been in the past. I hope that makes
Sure.
sense.
No, 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 no. That makes perfect sense, and I'm
Yeah.
glad you broke that down, and I appreciate your transparency. I really do. It's kind of a great segue because I definitely want to talk about mental health and
Hmm.
work-life balance.
Yeah.
Obviously, been in this industry for about 8 years, and I've seen a lot of journalists that have left. Because their mental health is not strong. I've seen a lot of
Hmm.
journalists leave because of the work-life balance. Like
Hmm.
news never stops. At
Yeah.
365 and 366 on a leap year. It's every single day, and every day is not going to be a cookie cutter day. So there's going to be some tough days, like you just said, with the lethal injections and seeing people, pass away. Talk
Hmm.
to me, Jesse, about how do you keep your mental health strong, but also still have that work-life balance. You seem like a wonderful woman to be around, and obviously very fun. I'm not breaking news here. I think your family and friends would certainly say the same thing about you. But you also are, like you said, you have a husband, you're a daughter, you're probably a sibling, you have family, but you need some Jesse time too, to yourself.
Hmm.
And you need that. Everybody does. So tell me, how do you keep your mental health strong, but also still have that work-life balance?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you, because I feel like it is like like people say, I mean, it's a choice every single day. You got to wake up and like put in the work. But something that's really helped me is that I had always wanted to be a runner. I just never really thought I was per se. But after college, I really started getting into that because that was my way of like another way of like therapy. You know, you can like be by yourself. I know some people like love running in groups and stuff, but for me, it's not a group sport. It's a Jessi sport, you know, where I can get that alone time and really just, you know, zone out, listen to a podcast, jam out to some music or something like that. And it's really turned into something bigger to where now, like my husband actually put this idea in front of me as well, to where we're now trying to do a half marathon in every state. And we've done 19 now. And so I went from like not thinking that I could run a mile to now like running all these half marathons. And so like that really helps to have like constant goals to work toward too, because then you're not like, you don't feel like sometimes with, you know, depression and things like that, I would kind of feel like I'm flailing or like not have like a focal point. But that's something that helps give me a focal point to where I can be present at work and have that work life balance and like say what is important for me and to be able to disconnect. Because, like you said, you know, 24-hour news cycle, that's super hard, especially when, you know, in politics, you don't want to feel like you're missing anything. And, you know,
Right.
stories break at 2 a.m. via tweet or whatever you want to call it now.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, will Ohio be the 20th state that you run a half marathon? You already run a half down there.
So I actually have already run a half here about a couple years ago. Yeah, since my family was already here, my husband and I were like, let's visit for a weekend and knock one out, and then we can have a whole cheering section.
Okay, that's awesome. Now, what's going to be the next state?
See, that's a good question. Since we had this like move happening, we were like, okay, we don't know when things are happening, like how things will fall into place. So we don't have one scheduled yet. But being so close, I haven't knocked off like Michigan, Indiana. What else do I need to do? Missouri, funny enough, being from St. Louis, got to get back there and knock off Missouri. So maybe do some Midwest now, because being in DC, it was so great too for this because we could just go up and down the coast.
Sure,
So
sure. Well, I'm gonna personally tell you, please don't wait to if you're gonna wait, wait till next year to do Minnesota because it get
okay.
cold.
Yeah.
Okay, I can personally attest to that. Just coming from there, and obviously now being here to upstate New York,
Mhm.
Minnesota, that wind chill is different than upstate New York. It's just different. No question
Mhm.
about it. Because they're the land of a thousand lakes for a reason.
See.
It's really
Mhm.
cold there. So yeah, I would say wait till next year to do Minnesota in the
Okay.
summertime
But
for
see, I
sure.
don't know if you're the same, but like I would rather like I love running in the cold. Like I'm probably a psycho for that, but I'd much rather run in the cold than in like right now when
No,
it's
no,
like
no.
90 degrees.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I would say spring, summer, that 60, 50, 60 degree
oh,
weather. That's
yeah,
perfect.
that's sweet
But
spot. I'm even
but
talking like 20.
yeah, single digits. We talking single digits in Minnesota around October,
Yeah.
November, and that wind chill is negative. So no.
Yeah, I don't think I've done single digits. I've done 20 degrees when we did the half marathon in Philly. It was like 20 degrees. That one was kind of
God,
rough.
God bless your damn
Yeah,
heart. I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that.
that was rough.
Yeah, I bet it was. I bet. I love it though. That's what's up. This is a great segue though, Jesse, because I want to talk about advice now. What is some
Uh,
advice that you would give, some of these, I would say, high schoolers, maybe that's going into college or college graduates, or maybe even interns, right? That you
mm.
probably have met along the way working in these different stations. What kind of advice would you give them about broadcast journalism or entering if they want to go into PR, PR media?
Yeah, I would say really hone your like basic skills. So make sure you're a great writer and can do a bunch of different things. If you want to work with video, make sure you're a great shooter and can kind of do it all and tell stories that way. You know, audio, things like that, even with podcasts or something, like kind of get your hands on anything you can to kind of get the basic skills in everything so you can kind of translate to all of these different positions. Because now, I mean, you know, we're kind of, you know, examples of this, of just all you can do with a journalism degree. And then I would try to find like some sort of like niche within that. So like for me, it was politics. I wish in a way I would have like honed it even more to be like, oh, you know, like foreign policy or something like that, where you could like minor in that. So maybe potentially even like when you're going through school, like trying to find like some sort of like niche way to set yourself apart from other people that do already have that kind of basic foundation. And then I guess another thing would just be to try to find mentors and try to find like a good support system. Mentors for me have kind of always been hard because things like fluctuate and everything. So I haven't had like one person, I guess I would say, that's like really kind of helped shepherd me. But when I was in Little Rock, I was so lucky. And even our news director at the time was like, you guys are so lucky. But we just had a great group of like literally top down, from like leadership to producers to reporters, anchors. And those became some like lifelong friends for me. And so it was like when you're going through hard times, you could really like lean on them, but then also lean on them to, be like, hey, look at my story. Like, what do you think? And just constantly to ask for feedback. This new job that I'm in now, you're constantly getting feedback, and I love it. I love when people like pick apart my stories and stuff. So just be open to it too, because you'll only get better.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that last part because a lot of times when people get that constructive criticism, they take it to heart. And it's not really something that you should take to heart. It's just trying to help you become better. They're not
Mm-hmm.
trying to tear you down, people. They're just trying to be able to help you become better at what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And you're always going to have people, more experienced people that you should rely upon and ask for advice and different things of that nature. We all
Mm-hmm.
have mentors in some sort. Like you said, it's not just one individual for me either. I ask a series of people to
Mm-hmm.
read my stuff, look at my stuff because I want to become better. And that's the
Yeah.
only way you get better is other people's perspective for sure.
And this business too, I mean, in journalism in general and writing in general, even, I mean, is so subjective. So it's like you have to take everything with a grain of salt too. And like, if you really believe in something, like make sure to keep fighting for yourself. But it is nice too to just get all of those different kinds of viewpoints, because then you can kind of like put that all together in this like big pot and then see like what comes out of it that's best for you, that like works for you.
Absolutely. I want to ask this bonus question, and maybe you might not have much perspective on it, but I want to just get your perspective on it because I'm a huge advocate for women, in journalistic type of roles. I speak out about a lot. Speak out, sorry, about it a lot. Actually, in my getting my master's, when I just received my master's, one of my thesis was to write a feature story about women journalists and the inequalities of it. And the reason I want to get right is a lot of times, Jesse, when I go to events in the past, especially when I've gone to section championships and state championships and covered big time events or professional events, you don't see a lot of women in sports. You don't even see women photographers. You don't see a lot of women anchors and stuff like that. You definitely don't see any color when it comes to that. I want to get your perspective. Do you think there is any inequalities in women's reporting or even women's sports reporting for that sense? Or is that something that just doesn't happen, in your opinion?
I would say that it's definitely gotten like leaps and bounds, but it definitely still persists because, like you said, just look around a room and that'll tell you kind of what you need to know, right? And I think a lot
Sure.
of it goes back to, I mean, especially in sports, just like credibility, like, who do viewers and who do management and who do people that have the purse strings think are credible. It doesn't
Right.
necessarily always translate into the smartest person. It's just their own biases and stuff.
Right.
And so I
Right.
love a lot of these ladies that have just been emerging that are just like, I know my shit and I'm going to tell
Right.
you that I
Right.
do. And I'm going to show you why, like, I earn a seat at the table. And I feel like even, it's definitely more in politics as well. But I mean, like, there's a lot of that too as well, working at like a state capitol, and just seeing too that I'm reporting and I'm around all these other typically like older men, and then when you look at the lawmakers too, it's mostly older men. And there was some like difficult transitions with that as well. I mean, there were some comments that like don't bear to see the light of day, and then there was others that were probably like kind of harmless, but it's like when I'm going around shooting my own stuff, it's like, oh, like, are you sure you can carry that, like my tripod and stuff? It's like, are you sure you can carry that, like, do you need help? And it's like, got it, been doing this for years, and it's like some of that doesn't come from a bad place, but it's just like the mentality needs to shift. And I think it is a lot, but there's definitely like room to grow, especially too when you look at the fact, like when I looked back on my career in a traditional newsroom, I never had a female news director as a boss. my first boss as a female is right now. And so I think that says a lot too. Not saying that women are better than men, but it's just like a different perspective on leadership and just on even like news telling and stuff. And so I wish that I kind of would have had that experience to just see what that would have been like to live it day to day.
Absolutely. And that's not to say, brothers out there, my brothers, I love what y'all doing out there. I love what the men is doing out there reporting, but it's the allocation of opportunities is what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
When you don't see a lot of faces that look like mine, that's women, when you don't see a lot of women, period, that's reporting or covering stuff, it's a problem. It is. When you have a 10-to-1 ratio in a room, I walk into a press room and I see 10 guys and see one woman, and then you see a guy that says, well, you didn't play this sport, so you can't cover that, or do you need help with this, or do you need help with that, or you know what, why are you here? Like it's you get those kind of stigmas, which unfortunately it's unfortunate that we have to talk about it, but I feel like we have to bring some light to it in order for it to change. Now it has
Hmm.
changed, like you said, leaps and bounds, but I still think we have a ways to go, and we still got to talk about that more. So I just wanted to get your perspective on that for sure,
Yeah.
because you know, you being somebody that's been in this industry and very credible and very good at what you do, your opinion definitely matters.
I think it's so important too because even one of my coworkers at my bureau, I mean, she was worried and she was told in some cases like ways to wear her hair. And we always made sure that we were kind of standing up for her and stuff to just be like, who cares? Like, you
Right.
should look how you want to look. And really, a lot of times, like, the rest of the country looks so different. Like, why should TV people be any different than that? Like, why do we always have to be like buttoned up and look the exact same? Like, no one's like that. And so I think that, it's much better too to be able to see yourself reflected, even like who's telling you the news. Like, it doesn't have to look like this foreign cookie cutter person, that's just blonde, short hair or something like that.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy that you would say that before I get to this next question. And that's because one of the previous guests that I had on here, she was talking about how she got a letter written to her. It was a handwritten letter written to her about her hair being a certain way, her
Hmm.
dress, the fact that she wore the same dress like two, three times in the same week. And it was just one of those like nasty kind of demeaning kind of letters. And us men who go in front of the camera, I've never heard of that. I've never gotten that. Or I'm not saying that men don't, but it's a rarity that I've ever heard men do. It's a lot of times women get blasted like that, and it's just not right. It's uncalled
Hmm.
for. It's silly. And again, it's something to bring up because that stigma is going to change. Unless we try it a lot more, and let the public know and let people know that that's not something that you should be focused on. You should be focused on the 411 and the news that were given to you in your community. But you shouldn't be focused on people and their appearance and how they look. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to meet these damn people. So why are you caring about that?
Exactly. I can't remember the
Well,
last time I got a handwritten note, so that is something special. But there are lots of emails, lots and lots of emails,
oh,
especially when I used to be in
fine.
like, a smaller market and like the anchor chair, people just thought that they were like your mom who could just like call you up and be like, "What were you thinking?" you know, like that color. And at first when you're fresh out of school too, oh my gosh, I would obsess over that kind of stuff and just be like, oh my God, like my voice is deeper. And so, with like tracking and stuff, sometimes like I would really have to kind of like put more emphasis on it and like really try to like sell it more and like give myself more energy because people would accuse me of like being monotone and stuff because they weren't really used to like hearing a deep kind of voice, I guess. And so like I had to play around with that and I really took a lot of that to heart. And then I go, gosh, yeah, clothes. And it's like, guys, we're not making a lot of money right now. Like I can't be like we're in TV, but we're not making like the big bucks, okay? Like so that was
If
always
they,
like a joke too.
if
I'm
they,
like, what do you think I have? Like I'm not the Today Show.
right, right. If they only knew exactly and that's part of the reason why I do this podcast. Is it really a behind the scenes of talking to different journalists and people in communicative type roles.
Hmm.
People love to do these kind of roles, right? They see the very beautiful lady like yourself or the handsome guy
Hmm.
on TV talking about the 411, giving the news, right? But all they do is see you on the 5 o'clock, the 6 o'clock, the 10 o'clock, or whatever time frame it is. Oh, you're live on news and you're talking. But they don't know what goes on behind the scenes. They don't know that some of these emails that you're getting, they don't know some of these trolls that you're getting. They don't know what your day is like, or if you got to carry equipment, be an MMJ, a one man band, going around doing all these things. They don't know that unless they talk to you. And these are the roles
Exactly.
that people need to know behind the scenes. They also need to know you're going to miss some holidays. You're going to miss some
Hmm.
family. There's some sacrifices that you're going to have to make. This is a great profession, but you're going to have to understand the A side and the B side. And that's what I like to present by doing this podcast. People think it's glamorous. And this is not the type of job to do to be glamorous or be seen. You got to do this job out of love.
Exactly. Hmm.
Uh,
And
no
tough
question.
love.
Tough love. Right. You're absolutely right about that. We have reached the portion of my podcast. Now we're going to do my interactive game called This or That. So,
Oh,
Jesse, it's that I like to play with all my guests here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast, and it's simple. I am going to throw some things at you, and you get to choose this or that. So, Jesse, you ready to rock with me?
let's go.
All right, let's get it. Here we go. Out of these two restaurants, if you had to choose one, which restaurant would you rather eat at? Popeyes or KFC?
KFC.
Okay, okay, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Although
Okay.
I'd rather choose Popeyes, but I'm with you on KFC for that
KFC is
mac and
nostalgic
cheese.
too. I would always get that with my grandparents.
Oh, okay, so it's a sentimental pick. Okay, I
It's
got
sentimental too, but hey, I mean, you gotta, I mean, fried chicken and their mashed potatoes and their mac and cheese and the
it. Okay,
biscuits.
well, yeah, the biscuits is okay. I'm with you
You
on
know,
that. I'm with you.
they're
Okay,
not the
yeah, I'm
best. I
with you.
mean, they'll do.
They'll do. They'll do. You're right. Okay, now here we go. Chicken wings. Let's see if you can cover on this one.
All
Chicken
right,
wings. Which flavor would you rather put on the wing? Barbecue or lemon pepper?
barbecue,
Okay. Do you like your wings wet or dry?
wet,
Do you like your wings bone in or boneless?
boneless.
That's what I'm, girl. You damn it, you on point like a period. That's what I'm saying. No, you are doing your thing. We are back in good spirits now. Do you eat it with a fork? Let me ask you that.
Um, yeah, I will. I don't like getting like messy when I'm out. You know, it's like when you're out at a restaurant, you just want to like talk and like hang out. It's like you don't want to be like,
Okay, I'm just imagining you at home with like the hubby and the family, and you like, boy,
yeah, I'm
you
home. I
going
have just
ham,
barbecue sauce over my face.
and you going ham on them damn wings. That's what I was imagining. I was imagining you
Right?
doing that when
Yeah.
but when you're out and about, you have like the little napkin and the fork, and you're like dipping
Yeah.
it,
You're
and you're
like,
like,
yeah.
right, right,
just
right. That's what I was imagining, like totally. Okay, I love that. I love that, Jesse. Okay,
not
the
really, but I'll
next,
say that. Yeah.
the next five questions have to do with music concerts you rather attend. Okay,
Okay.
so here we go. They're gonna get harder as we go. By the way, which music concert would you rather go to? Rihanna or Beyonce?
Beyonce.
Okay, Queen Bee. So you the Beehive. I like that. Okay, okay, here we go.
Yep.
Which music concert would you rather go to? Chris Brown or Usher?
Usher.
Oh, okay. These are not
That
that
like
hard.
burn, his burn album was like my like middle school. You know, it's like first slow dance
Mm-hmm.
ever was to Usher. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're bringing back memories because I
Big
was in middle
deal.
school at
Yeah, you're just
the
taking
time.
me down memory lane this whole time.
Right. Wow. Okay. That's what's up. His Confessions album is probably my favorite of
Confessions.
his.
Yeah.
Y- Yes, his album was that album was pain for
Yeah.
Usher. No question about
Oh
that. You
yeah.
can
And
just
my
tell.
seventh grade self knew that I felt like I was right there with him. You know, I had just lived a full life and I was just like, same Usher, same.
I know that's
Clearly.
right. Your 12-year-old self going through it probably. I
Yeah,
understand that.
sure.
I totally
It's
get
like
it.
you always think you
Okay.
are, you know?
Right, right.
Mm.
Okay. So we're two for two because I would have picked those two as well. Here's the
Okay.
next one. Which music concert would you rather go to? Would you rather go see SZA or her?
Oh, SZA.
Mm, okay, okay, yep, I like that. We're three for three. We
Okay.
might we might be split on this one.
Okay.
Which music concert would you rather go see? I'm gonna change the genre up. Would you rather go see Boys the Men or New Edition?
Boys to Men. I've
Yep.
seen them before.
Yep. Yep. I knew that's the one where we're gonna be split.
You can
I knew
tell.
that one. Yep, I knew it. But I do like Boys the Men too. That's just a hard one to choose.
That's
Um,
hard.
last one of the favorites, or not favorites, but last one of the music. Which music concert would you rather go see? I'm gonna change the whole genre up on this one. Would you
Mm.
rather go see Taylor Swift or would you rather see Carrie Underwood?
Ooh. I used to be such a Carrie fan, but now I'm T Swift all the way. I'm a Swiftie.
Wow, you're a Swiftie.
Mm. I'll
Okay.
admit it.
Are you
This is my
excited
first time
about this
admitting this in public.
question? Well, thank God, Jesse, that you did it on the work
Breaking
hard play.
news.
Breaking news. Jesse is a Taylor Swift Swiftie. I love it. I totally love it. Now, what's your favorite album of hers?
Oh, that's tough. What would it be? See, her new stuff was kind of like what got me back. So I may have
Hmm,
to say, mm, even like folklore or something. I'm feeling like moody.
okay.
Or, yeah, or Midnights.
Oh, Midnight the
Yeah.
Poets album is what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We
Now,
can, we can
are you
dabble.
excited? Are you excited about her new album coming out October 3rd?
Yeah, for sure. I listened to the
Okay.
pod, you know. Not live, not live,
Uh,
but
that,
yeah.
that damn podcast blew the hell up, man.
I
When they
know.
put
And like of course it did. Like you knew there was only time that he was gonna like bring her on to like drop
right,
something. Like, come on.
right,
So
right. No question, no question.
I'm
I'm not
like,
a
okay.
Swift like yourself, but I do like her 99 album because Wildest Dreams is my favorite song of
Oh,
hers.
love,
No
yeah.
question. Yeah,
Hmm.
I love that song. That's a great song.
Yeah.
Let's transition to sports. Which sport would you rather watch on TV? Basketball or hockey?
Basketball. Because hockey's more fun
Oh,
in well, I think hockey's more fun to watch in person.
yeah, I love the fights. I love the
Hmm.
fights in hockey.
Yeah, and they don't always
Um,
show it on TV, you know, you gotta be in it.
I know, right? Now, which sport would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Oh God. Bowling, since I actually know how.
Okay, okay. Are you pretty good?
I had to do like how I said I had the work retreat last week. One of the things that we did for like a team bonding thing was bowling, and I bowled the highest at a 120. So yeah, hold your applause. But it's like everybody else wasn't too great. So that's why my
I,
claim to fame is just getting over that 100. So
I
we're
feel that
trying.
because I was about to clap for you, Jesse, but I
Yeah,
pulled my fingers up when you said
yeah. Don't do
120. I
it.
was
Don't do it.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay. Do you need the bumpers?
See, okay, I would be better with
Uh-oh.
bumpers, but I did not use them. I did not use
Oh,
them. We were
okay.
adults. Yeah. Have you ever
Yeah,
done
yeah.
like duck pin bowling? Because
What's that?
I love that so much better. They have that in Columbus that I've just played here for the first time, but it's like smaller pins and then a smaller ball that like fits in your hand, and so you can just kind of like throw it easier. So it's like a
I bet
miniature size.
I bet you dominate in that game. I bet you do.
See, I'm not that good either.
Okay, maybe sports might not be it might
It's
not be your
not.
lane.
Yeah,
That's all.
bowling's not my
Listen,
shtick.
that's okay because listen, everybody has their shit. Your shit is news, politics, PR, and being up
Yeah,
to date. Attention to that and being a really good advocate of that. My shit
yeah.
is sports. That's what. Listen,
See.
you ain't
Hmm.
you're
And
gonna
once
buy.
upon a time, I thought I wanted to be a sports reporter. So let's just say I'm very glad I did not go that route.
I am too because you definitely would have took a job away from me. That's for sure. So thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Awesome. Now, do you like desserts?
Yeah,
Okay, so I'm going
dessert
to name
girl.
four categories of desserts, Jesse, and you got
Okay.
to choose one of these to get rid of. Okay,
All
so here we
right.
go. The first category is candy. The next category is cookies. The
Okay.
third category is ice cream. Now, the last category is going to be grouped together. So it's cake slash pies. Which one are you getting rid of?
Oh, candy, actually. I'd be okay
Girl,
with having candy.
you are on point like a damn period. Again, I'm trying to tell you, girl. I don't know. I don't know if you mind reading me or not, but listen, I'm just trying to tell you, you're on point. Now, what is your favorite ice cream?
I'm obsessed with anything like chocolate peanut butter. So it's like a Reese's Blizzard or like Moose Tracks, something along those lines.
Okay, I'm a huge Oreo person, so cookies and cream is
Oh,
my favorite for sure.
yeah.
I just did a podcast, I would say about a couple days ago. Somebody told me about green tea ice cream. And I said, what the hell? Green what?
No,
They green tea ice cream. I was like, no, 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 that
no,
can't be it.
I
They said
object.
something about graham cracker ice cream. I damn near canceled the podcast after that because I was like,
You're like,
I what you was talking about. Graham cracker ice cream. I ain't never heard of that before. But they literally said it and it's on tape. I'm telling you. So
mm.
yes.
Sometimes
That's
you
for
just
sure.
gotta stick to the classics. Like I appreciate people like getting fancy, trying new flavors, blah blah
Mm,
blah. But I'm like, give me the chocolate peanut butter, we'll be good.
absolutely. Now, do you like potato chips?
Yeah, that's like one of
Okay,
my
so
favorite
this
snacks.
same format. Me too. Same format. I'm gonna name four brands. You have to
Uh
choose one of the brands to get rid of. Now,
oh. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you, Jesse, one of the brands is not Cheetos. So
Okay.
Cheetos is off. So here we go. The first brand is going to be Pringles.
Okay.
The second brand is going to be Doritos. The third brand is going to be Lay's.
Mm.
The last brand is going to be Ruffles. Which brand are you getting rid
Oh, that's hard, but probably Pringles.
of? I would say the same. I would get rid of Pringles too.
There you
I would. I
go.
would. Now, mind you, you don't have to pick from the other three, but what is your favorite chip to eat?
Barbecue has always been my go-to, whatever that looks like. Like sometimes I like the Fritos, like what is it, like the that you get at the gas station, like the curly ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Those,
absolutely.
yeah, those
Okay.
crush. Any sort
Okay.
of like, yeah, any sort of the rough, like Ruffles side barbecue, anything like that. The kettle ones,
Yeah,
barbecue.
see, we're gonna be very good friends, girl. I'm telling you that right now, because you are eating the damn foods that I like, and that's the first thing
We'll
to a man's
see.
heart. If you can eat food, you good.
Yeah, come to Columbus. We'll have a good time.
I'm no doubt. I'm with you on that. Now, mind you, there's been some people that pick chips on there that have said they like salt and vinegar. I said you out your damn mind because ain't no way I'm going to eat salt and vinegar. That's just nasty. It's oil and water. That don't mix. Then
Yeah.
there's people that say kettle chips. No,
Mm,
kettle chips is a hard pass. I'm not doing
mm.
kettle chips. But then this is the worst chip of all. Before I get to the next question, Funyuns. Whoever in their life made Funyuns need to be slapped with the white and the black side of my hand. Both sides. Because
Both
they out
sides.
there money. Both sides. No question. Two slaps. Because the Funyuns are absolutely horrible. It's no question about that. Are
Yeah.
you
Oh, what did you say? You cut out a little.
are you a fan of any of those three that I just said?
I've eaten them all, but they're not my faves.
I feel that. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you on that. Now, this next two questions, Jesse, are top four questions. Okay. So I want you to give me a top four in a top four bucket list.
Mm.
What is your top four bucket list of events or stories that you would like to do in your career that you haven't done yet?
Oh man. Oh, I feel so lucky that I've gotten to like cross that off because that's what made it easier to like close that like door because I got to do
Yeah.
so much of that. Let's see. In this role, since it's a lot of healthcare, um, working more with kids, being able to do like more like happy ending cancer stories. And
Okay.
then from like a treatment standpoint, since we do a lot of those, like tell a story that makes it on like a network or something about like a whole new treatment that could like really change a lot of people's lives if they like make that available. And then
I
maybe
love
another
that.
one where it's like like get super nerdy into one and like interview one of the researchers and like make sense of like, you know, a major study that they just came across that would be really good for somebody's health moving forward. And then the fourth one, that's something kind of different. Let's see. Ooh, maybe like there's like new facilities even opening in Columbus dealing with women's health in particular. Like one of the things that they're doing that's really interesting, I think, is that they're bringing in like an ER doctor that's specifically an OBGYN, which typically when you have those kind of issues, like you just go into like a regular ER and then you just have to like, you know, see what happens. So I'd be interested to see too and like cover that more if that like goes more around the country, that concept, because I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I think those are really, really good. Those that would be really great, obviously, to find some kind of cure to like something to help our kids. You know, a remedy
Mhm.
is the word is what I was looking for. But while you were talking, I was thinking, would you ever want to do a red carpet event? I think you would be amazing on the red
Ooh,
carpet.
that could be fun
Something to
because I am
do.
like into pop culture and like TV and movies and stuff. I think I would have fun with that. And now, at first, you know, it's like with anything in TV, like I'm sure being around like players and like coaches and stuff. Like at first, you're like, oh my god, those are like that's like, you know, like who's your favorite like player or something where you would just be like dumbstruck. Like I would just, you know, I used to be so intimidated by that. And then I just like got in the mindset of like, okay, you can do this. Like everybody's a person when it comes down to it. So like just make it happen. So yeah, I think that'd be kind of fun to like try to connect with, you know, some of the big stars out there that people see all the time on TV.
I just think you would have great conversations. I mean, because it's obviously very easy to talk to you. I think most people would say that about you. And you're obviously well versed, not in just politics, but in culture and music, just a lot of different genres, a lot of different things. And I think you will have some great stories, some great questions, but also something to promote healthcare too. I think that a red carpet event with you on it, you obviously would look amazing on it too. But I think red carpet wise, I think that'd be a great event for you. So that's why I was thinking that you would want to do something like that too.
Well, hey, I'll add it to the list. Thanks for
Yeah, no, no, no
that.
doubt. Yeah, that's what's up.
Something else to work toward, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. That's one of the main reasons why I do that because I get
Hmm.
people thinking. People don't normally think about what do they want to do, but it's something to aspire to, right? Something to aspire to. If you don't have goals to inspire to, uh, you might as well just be dead, in my
Yeah.
opinion. You always got
No,
to
for real.
aspire to something. So I would tell you my top four, which
Hmm.
me covering the Super Bowl this past year
For
was
sure.
something off the list. That was amazing in New Orleans. I want to do March Madness, which I think I'll be able to
Hmm.
cross that off because it is coming to Buffalo this next year.
Yay. Yep.
I want to be able to do a NBA Finals.
Hmm.
I want because basketball is my favorite sport. I want to be able to do a college football playoff game. I think that would be amazing.
Hmm.
The finals would be amazing too. It's in Miami. I certainly wouldn't mind going to Miami
Oh
to cover that.
no.
Absolutely not. And then I would love to do the Olympics
Hmm.
in 28. I grew up in California. LA was 2 hours down the road. So that's
See.
my home state. So that would be amazing.
Oh, go for it. You should do it. You got
That's the plan.
this.
That's the plan. Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Now, Jesse, I want to ask, I asked you about advice early on. Now I want to ask you, what is some advice that someone has gave you that you hold on dearly to?
Oh man. I think it always comes back to like my mom just always saying like there's only like, you know, one Jesse, and it's like a lot of people will try to like tear you down or like try to tell you that like what things are your superpower or like your weakness, but she's like just keep leaning into that. So like I mean growing up and even like now, like I'm definitely more introverted actually, and I used to be called quiet all the time growing up, and I used to think that like when people called me quiet that it was like a slap in the face, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to change, like they're telling me something's wrong with me, that you know this is bad. But of course, when you are like that, you're a better listener and you're a better observer. And so I
Right.
think that that's my superpower now is that, you know, when you're interviewing people, you pick up on little things and you're able to get along with really anybody because you've been that observer and you know, like, ooh, that person over there, like, is actually feeling kind of vulnerable. Like, maybe I should, you know, reach out to them or like, ooh, this person just kind of like let their guard down during this interview and it's not a gotcha question, but I am interviewing a politician and I really want to get them on this. And so it's like, ooh, they just gave me an opening here. And so I feel like it really helps with so many different things. And then just kind of makes you like a better, friend and sister, wife, and all that too.
Absolutely. Wow. You introvert? That is a shocker right there because literally we have been talking for almost 45 minutes to
I
even
know.
more
See,
than
you switch it on.
right. And we've been vibing pretty good. So you have
Mhm.
definitely mapped that very well. So I appreciate that. But I love what you just said because yeah, it's very true. Very true that you should be authentic. While you were talking, the word authentic came into my
Yeah.
mind.
Hmm.
People can see through fakeness all the time, and especially in
Hmm.
journalism. When you're
Totally.
in the camera, they can see that. You should be yourself and don't be afraid to be yourself. But it's very hard to do that because you want to emulate people that you because you see them on TV and you see them doing their thing. So it's real
Mhm.
easy to try to copycat. But you have to find your own niche and find your own
Yeah.
voice, your own lane. And that's also some advice that I got too in
Hmm.
my career as well. No question about that. Um, what is and this is the bonus question. You've been there a month. What is the most surprising thing that you have learned so far? What is something that kind of shocked you that you learned? You was like,
Hmm.
wow, I didn't know about that.
Honestly, that I missed driving a car because when I lived in DC for these past 6 years, I was obsessed. Like, I wanted to get rid of my car. I didn't have a car. I loved walking everywhere. I took the bus, metro, walked to work and stuff every day. And I was just like, oh, I'm gonna miss like doing public transit and everything. But now, like, I am reminded that since I can't do that here and I have to drive everywhere, that I like the car being my time to kind of decompress and stuff. So I've been, yeah, having it be kind of like my little like namaste spot on the way to
Right.
work and everything. So,
Oh, that's enough. I like that. Yeah, in DC it's kind of easy to get around,
mhm.
metro wise without a car. There's no question about that. I noticed that when I was there in DC.
Yeah,
In Columbus, it's a little bit tougher. There's no question about
a
that in
little bit
Columbus.
suburban.
Yeah, a little bit. I want to ask you some rapid fire questions, Jesse.
Okay.
And thing that comes to your mind, I want you to shout it out with glee, okay? Based upon these questions. So here we go.
All right.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes,
Chicken or ribs?
chicken,
Juice or soda?
juice,
Favorite color?
red.
Ooh, okay. We are in sync. That's my favorite color. That's my favorite color too, but red because I'm a Bulldogs fan. UGA, go Dogs. Yeah, Bulldogs, Georgia Bulldogs. Oh,
Okay, okay. Mizzou
why you
Tigers.
say it like that?
Cause you guys are, especially in football. I can't talk about that. Yeah.
I got you. I know where you're going. I don't go there. I know where you're going though. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Favorite board game.
Oh, board game. Oh man, this is bad. I haven't played a board game in a minute. The first like
Mm,
card game that popped in my head was like Cards Against Humanity. I love that.
that's a good game. That's a good
Yeah,
game.
good game. I
Uh,
mean, Candyland used to be my jam.
yeah. Wow, you definitely took it back with that one. Oh, Disneyland and shoots and ladders and all of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, get back to that. Okay,
all
I'm
of it.
with you on that. Um, okay, favorite card game would be Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, probably or like Skippo, Uno.
Got you. Now, Cards Against Humanity, you got to play it with the right people. You play with the right people, it can be a really good game. You play it with some boring
Exactly.
people, it can
Hmm.
be kind of, yeah. So you just got to play with the right people. Okay,
You do.
drink.
Favorite alcohol?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Sorry, bourbon.
Ooh, okay. Are you a what is that? Jim? Is that Jim Beam? Is that Jim Beam bourbon or
I can play with it. I like in Little Rock there was a great like local distillery there that I'm still obsessed with, and so ever since then I always try to find like local stuff. So there's a couple local distilleries here too that are great,
okay?
and since we're close to Louisville, it gives me lots of options too.
Yeah, you ain't lying about that. Now, do you chase your bourbon? That's the question.
No, I do it like neat usually, or like an old
Ooh,
fashioned.
okay, I'm with you on that. All right.
Mhm.
Favorite sandwich.
Oh. see. Maybe some sort of like Italian club.
Okay, I'm with you there. I'm with you there. I like that. If you had a choice to bring three people with you on vacation, who would those
Mhm.
three people be, and where would you go? Now, Jesse, before you answer, you can choose family, friends, or celebrities.
Oh, or celebrities. Oh my God. These are like the type of questions that like I feel like I have to like internalize and like think about for hours and hours to make sure I do the right thing.
Well, that's
Um,
why I gave you a choice because there's been sometimes people leave out family and leave out friends, and then they
yeah,
come
it's like
back.
screw them.
Right, right. So that's why I give you a choice. You know what I mean? So
Oh yeah. Who would be fun? Like like I'm a huge like comedy nerd and I love SNL and just like I mean recency bias, we'll go with that. So I was just listening to like Amy Poehler's podcast and so
yeah.
like I love her and Tina Fey and I
Mhm.
think my husband's actually like the funniest human that I've ever known and so like I feel like the four of us would have a really good time just like chilling at the beach and like not having like a whole lot of like touristy things to do, but just like relaxing on kind of like a yeah bougie beach vacation.
Okay, I'm with you on that. Have you seen Amy and Tina live?
No, I haven't, but I want to do their show so bad.
Yeah, you got to. You got to. I
Hmm.
have had the privilege. Had the privilege
Oh, where
live.
did you
So
see them?
I saw them actually when I went and visited some family in New York.
Oh, perfect.
Yes,
Oh,
New York. So yes, you definitely got to see them live whenever they do come out together again because
mhm.
they are definitely explicit, and they're definitely pretty funny for sure.
Yeah.
No question about it.
I feel like they can kind of let it loose when they're like actually on tour.
They do, no question. I'm a huge comedy nerd as well, so I got a chance to see my kings, which my kings are Rock, Chappelle, Hart,
Uh,
and also Epps. I got a chance to see Epps. I got a chance to see Hart. I got a chance to see Rock. Chappelle is the one person I have not seen, so I want to
uh,
see that for sure,
Hey,
no question.
sometimes with him being having that Ohio tie, like he'll do like random shows.
I
So
know,
shout
I
out
know.
Ohio again.
Oh, right, no doubt. Now, if you had a choice to choose between three artists and three songs to listen to on repeat and never get tired of, who would those three artists or three
Ooh.
songs be?
Again, this is one that I could like obsess over, but I'll just go with like things that like pop into my mind. Billy Joel,
Okay,
definitely.
okay.
Um, Either like Maggie Rogers, Sarah Bareilles kind of thing, and then Queen. I love Queen.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Okay. Another one bites the dust.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
All
think I
right.
could listen to that. That might not be one of my songs.
Okay. Hold on. What's your favorite Queen song?
Oh, I mean, Fat Bottom Girls is fun. Probably
That is
that.
fun.
Yeah.
Uh, Definitely Bohemian Rhapsody for me. No
Yeah.
question.
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. It's a pretty good one. Favorite, I would say, favorite sport. Well, not this. Let me change it up. Sport you would play and dominate in.
Oh, basketball. I played a lot of sports growing up, but basketball was always my favorite. And so I would love to actually have been like really good at it, but I wasn't too great. I had the height, but that's about it.
Okay, now I'm about to say we could play some horse now. We find a park
Yeah,
place.
yeah. I'll take you up on horse. I'll play
Okay,
horse.
okay, I'm with you on that. Now, sport you would play that you would absolutely suck in.
Uh, Golf.
Golf.
Yeah, I've been to
Really?
a driving range and I like barely made contact with like any of the balls. It's terrible.
But Jesse, the ball is stationary. It don't
Oh,
even
I
move.
know. Trust me, I know. I've been told.
Wow.
I have been
Okay.
told.
Wow.
Uh,
Okay. So let me ask you this. Last of the rapid fire. If they came to you and said, Jesse, what we want to do is we love what you're doing in news, right? Let's say when you are in news, but now we want to take that genre away from you, and we want you to do a new genre. Which of these three genres would you choose? Travel, entertainment, or sports?
mm, with let's see,
To,
travel.
to, to cover it. To cover it.
Travel.
Oh wow. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. I like that. I
Yeah.
like.
Because
And
I love traveling too. That's like my favorite thing to do. Like, you know, for like presents or something too. Like I don't like material things. Like I like experiences. So just like whatever that looks like, you know. So it's like if it, you know, if I have a birthday or something coming up, I always try to plan even like a small, like maybe even like day getaway somewhere to like a cabin or something. So I just love seeing like all parts of the world because then again it goes back to like always wanting to tell stories and like meet different people and just kind of like give yourself a better perspective on the world too.
no doubt. Now, when is your birthday?
August 2nd.
Wow, so it just passed. What did you do?
Mhm. Yeah, so I being here for the first time, like with all of my family for the first time in God knows how long. I grew up on a lake and there's a lake right around here. And so I was like, I just want to be out on the water. And like, it was a beautiful day. And so we ended up renting a pontoon and jet skis to like rip around all day. And then we had like a big barbecue and it was the best.
So my birthday is exactly 6 months from you.
So you're on my
So
half birthday,
your birthday is
February.
my right. So I'm February 2nd. I'm
All
Groundhog
right,
Day.
so we are friends now. Let's just say it. We're friends.
That's awesome. That is what's up. That is amazing. That is awesome. I love this. Has been a really, really dope conversation, Jesse. Learning about your background in the journalism. Obviously, I've watched a ton of YouTube videos of you doing excellent work
Oh
talking
God.
about different things. Yeah, yeah, I did. I went and did my research, girl. The camera
Uh-oh.
love. There's no
Deep
question about
dive.
it. The deep dive. The camera loves you talking about NATO, talking about Biden, talking about all different kind of things going on. So I definitely
Um,
did that. You went to a prestigious school, the University of Missouri, obviously NBC affiliate. Graduated from there. Was in Arkansas, in Jonesboro, and Little Rock, and then now you're over there in Columbus. You was with Rochester First as a national correspondent, in Washington as well, but representing Rochester First. Now you're doing your thing in the PR sense. I'm a new fan of yours and I'm going to continue
sick.
following you. And I hope that you are continuing to do great work out there in Columbus. There's no doubt that I will be out there in the nearest of futures because I do love some Ohio and I do love Ohio State University, one of my favorite schools for sure. I want to ask you before I get you out of here, though, is there anything else you would like to add about your job or anything at all before we conclude?
I think you covered it. Yeah, you did
I love, I
it.
love that is
Thorough.
amazing. I try to be. I try to be. Listen, you have been excellent. Thank you for vibing with me up and staying up with me to this late night on
For
this
sure.
live. Enjoy your Tuesday evening and the rest of your week, and you and I would definitely be in touch.
All right, you too. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.